destiny. The question you face is, which path will you choose?
So I've had this rather shocking realization that I don't enjoy playing video games anymore. I mean, I'm an adult now. Maybe it's just a part of growing up. But before I start enjoying doing my taxes, I think perhaps I should try something that I used to enjoy. But I already have. I tried playing Skyrim, I tried playing Dota, I tried playing League of Legends, basically all the games that I binged when I was younger. I tried playing video games with friends, and I just can't enjoy them anymore. I can pick them up 10-20 minutes at a go, but I just can't really play them much more than that. I haven't completed a video game since Skyrim, when it came out on PC, which is, over 5 years ago now. So I feel this has been a long time coming. And the strange thing about video gaming is that it's a hobby that I had, but it's something that always took up all of my free time. Unlike other hobbies that I have, playing tennis, cooking, it feels that now that I no longer enjoy my hobby, and because that hobby was sort of part of my personality, do I even really have a proper personality anymore? Is there something missing there? And how do I fill it? Well, I'm not gonna go deep and dive into the psychology behind it or do some big video essay, but I'm gonna tell you what I found to replace my video game hobby. I've started getting a little bit more involved in my community. Now, I don't plan to live in this area forever, but it's been really a wholesome experience. I'm only 24, and I realize that's quite young. Especially some of the people in this video might be a little bit older than me. But I've really enjoyed helping people and just talking to people at my local store, the people that work there. They live interesting lives. They don't live easy lives, that's for sure. And there's something of a realization that when you realize that everybody else's life is filled with the same hardships, the same struggles, the same joys, and the same feeling of lack of purpose that yours has, that you suddenly realize that you're not alone, but at the same time that you need to do something about it. So I started going to church again. I was an atheist ever since I've been 14, and those atheist videos were all over YouTube. And even now, I must admit that I struggle to believe in perhaps the God that I believed in when I was 13 or 14. But I do feel like there is something there now. And I do feel more spiritually connected, whatever that means. But I also feel that I've gained something from this. And I'm not about to advocate to you that you should go to church if you're struggling with your lack of video games, or perhaps your lack of enjoyment in video games rather. But I do suggest that you get involved in your community in some way or another. Join a local sports team, or a local community centre, or some kind of volunteering thing in your local area, and you will get something from it, whether that's a social aspect or perhaps something that satisfies you each and every day, where you go in and you feel like you've actually achieved something material at the end. And perhaps that's what I'm finding now that I'm a little bit older, that I miss from video games. I no longer seem to get anything satisfactory when I achieve something. There's no achievements. as it were, in video gaming, despite the fact that almost every gaming platform now has little badges that they call achievements. And it does concern me that earlier in this video I did say that now that I no longer have this hobby, that I potentially have lost part of my personality. And I realized that that is potentially a very toxic aspect to my relationship with my hobby, or rather ex-hobby. And I think it will be a good thing for me to no longer play video games as a hobby. I'm not going to quit them entirely. I certainly think I will be able to enjoy video games again, but I certainly won't be playing them at the same pace, 4 hours a day, 8 hours a day on weekends, that I used to. I've got a job to do at work during the weeks. I've got a community to think about on Sunday. I've got studying to do in order to improve myself. And I've got life plans that I need to fulfill. And that if you're lacking purpose, I honestly think that the first thing you should do when you stop playing video games is to build yourself a life plan. Tell yourself, what are you gonna do in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be? How are you going to get there? Write down what will happen if you don't do the things you need to do to get to that place. Where will you be in 5 years' time? Will you be in the same place as you are now if you don't do anything to improve yourself? Or will you be even further behind? I think that this particular exercise has helped me more than anything to bridge the gap between losing my hobby and finding something to fill the gap. I've also started playing tennis. I've started to run more and become more active and athletic. Not that you would potentially be able to tell by looking at me. At least not yet, anyway. But I hope that the results will show soon. I think that also taking responsibility, at least in work, has helped me feel a little bit more, obviously responsible, but helped to give me a little bit more of purpose in life. And I've been enjoying it. I realize that this video has been a bit rambly, but I hope that everyone watching has gathered something from it. So I'm gonna sign off here, and I really hope that those of you who are perhaps struggling with the hole that the hobby of video games has left with you, I hope that you find something to replace it. Have a good night.